Life is not how you want it to be. Life is how it is. Every morning the sun rises whether you are ready or not. Every second passes whether you use it or waste it. Time does not bend itself to your desires. It demands that you adapt to it. The question is not, why is life not giving me what I want? The real question is, am I ready to use the time I have been given? Life is not how you want it to be. Life is how it is. The sooner you understand this truth, sooner your time begins to carry value. So many people lose precious years because they are busy fighting with reality, wishing that things were different, wishing that life would bend itself to their personal desires. But time is not controlled by your wishes, moves with or without you, and the more you resist what is, the more time you throw away in the silence of your own complaints. Imagine a man standing in the middle of a river, shouting at the water to stop flowing because he wants to rest. His shouting changes nothing. River keeps moving, strong and steady. He can waste all his energy fighting against the current, or he can step into harmony with it and use its force to move forward. Life is that river. Reality is that current, and your time is wasted every moment you resist it. Acceptance is not weakness. It is not surrender. Acceptance is clarity. It is the wisdom of recognizing what you can control and what you cannot. When you accept that life will not always obey your plans, you become free to adapt, to create, and to use the hours you have with power instead of frustration. Look at a tree in the storm. It bends when the wind pushes, not because it is weak, but because it understands that rigidity leads to breaking. Accept reality is to bend without breaking. Many people live in illusions. They hold on to expectations of how others should treat them, how opportunities should arrive, how success should unfold. And when life does not deliver, they feel betrayed. The betrayal is not from life, it is from their illusions. The reality was always there, they chose not to see it. And in refusing to see, wasted time. The wise use acceptance as a doorway to action. If the situation is not what you want, complaining does not change it. If the road is blocked, sitting down in anger does not open it. Acceptance is saying, yes, this is what is before me. Now, what will I do with it? That simple shift from illusion to reality saves hours, days, even years of wasted energy. Time is not lost in great mistakes, it is lost in small denials. The more quickly you accept, the more quickly you adapt, and the more you adapt, the more you grow. Life does not ask you to like everything. It only asks you to see clearly, because clarity is the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is the key to mastering your time. Desire is easy. It comes without effort. The desire to rest, the desire to be entertained, the desire to take the short path, the desire to avoid what is uncomfortable. Every human being is full of desires, yet it is not desire that shapes a meaningful life. It is discipline. Because desire consumes time while discipline preserves it. You may want to sleep longer. You may want to avoid difficult work. You may want to escape into distraction. Every moment you surrender to that desire, time slips quietly from your hands, never to return. Discipline is not harshness, nor is it punishment. Discipline is simply alignment with what truly matters. Imagine an archer who wants to hit the target. Desire may make him wish for success, but only discipline steadies his hand, corrects his posture, and keeps him practicing until his aim becomes true. Without discipline, his arrows will always scatter, no matter how much he wishes otherwise. Life is the same. Wishing for results without discipline is like shooting arrows blindfolded. You lose both the arrow and the time. The world around you is full of temptations that invite you to waste your hours. They appear harmless. One more moment of scrolling, one more hour of talking without meaning, one more day of delaying what must be done. Desire whispers softly, And if you follow every whisper, you will find your days consumed by emptiness. Discipline is the voice that says, not this, not now. I choose the higher path. Every time you listen to that voice, you take back ownership of your time. Think of water flowing down a mountain. If it spreads in every direction, it becomes shallow, scattered, and powerless. But if you place it within a channel, guiding it with purpose, the same water becomes a force strong enough to turn wheels, to generate power, to carve valleys. Discipline is that channel for your life. It is the structure that focuses your energy. Without it, time dissolves into nothing. With it, time becomes creation. Many people think discipline is about restriction. In truth, discipline is freedom. Freedom from being ruled by every passing desire. Freedom from being a servant to moods, laziness, or distraction. When discipline leads, desire follows in its proper place. A disciplined life does not reject enjoyment, it simply knows the right time for it. Work first, rest later. Build first, reward later. In this order, time becomes a tool instead of an enemy. Every sunrise gives you 24 hours. Desire wastes them, discipline multiplies them. Choice is always yours. And every choice, no matter how small, decides whether you are living in control of your time or losing it, moment by moment, to impulses that never cared about your future. Time is like sand slipping through your fingers. You cannot stop it, you cannot slow it, you cannot hold it still. But you can decide where that sand will fall, and that decision is made through purpose. Without clarity of purpose, a person may live many years, yet still feel empty because the hours were spent without direction. To live without purpose is to wander in a desert with no destination. You move, but you arrive nowhere. You work, but you build nothing. The days pass, but they do not accumulate into meaning. Purpose gives time its weight. Purpose transforms ordinary actions into steps on a path. When you rise in the morning, knowing what you are living for, every hour has a shape, every effort has a reason, every challenge has meaning. Without this clarity, time is consumed by confusion. You wake up not knowing why, you work not knowing for what, you rest not knowing if you have moved closer or further from the life you desire. Imagine a ship on the ocean with no compass. Wind may be strong, the sails may be full, but the ship drifts endlessly, carried wherever the currents decide. This is a life without purpose, busy but not progressing. A person may be constantly active, running from task to task. If those tasks are not connected to a greater vision, time is wasted in motion without direction. True clarity is the compass that points the ship of your life toward a chosen shore. Finding purpose does not require grand answers. It begins with small questions. Why am I here? What do I want to give to the world? What matters enough to deserve my time? The answers may not come quickly, but even the act of asking sharpens your awareness. Slowly, the fog lifts. You begin to see what is worth your energy and what is not. In that moment, clarity saves you years. When you know your purpose, distractions lose their power. The noise of the world becomes softer because you are listening to a stronger voice inside. You no longer chase every opportunity. You choose the one that aligns with your direction. You no longer fear missing out because you are no longer lost. Time becomes less about how much you have and more about how well you use it. Clarity of purpose is not given, it is created. It is forged in silence, in reflection, in honesty with yourself. And once you hold it, your days are no longer scattered drops of water. They become a river flowing toward a destination. That is how time is maximized, not by adding more hours, but by aligning every hour with a clear and unshakable why. The mind is a restless traveler. It wanders into the past, replaying old stories, regrets, and mistakes. It runs into the future, worrying about events that have not yet come, imagining outcomes that may never arrive. While the mind is busy wandering, time slips quietly away. The moment that is here, only moment that truly belongs to you, is lost. This is how countless lives are spent, physically present but mentally absent, alive but not truly living. To maximize time, you must learn the art of presence. Presence means giving your full attention to the moment you are in. When you eat, you taste the food. When you walk, you feel the ground beneath your feet. When you speak with someone, you are fully there, listening without drifting away. This may sound simple, it is powerful. Because when you are present, 1 hour of work can equal 10 hours of distracted effort. One conversation can hold more meaning than 100 careless words. Imagine trying to hold water in a container full of holes. No matter how much water you pour, it leaks out. This is how time is lost when the mind is scattered. Presence closes the holes. It allows you to hold and fully use what is already in your hands. The past cannot be changed. The future cannot be controlled. Only space where life can be lived is now. And when you live now, time is no longer slipping. It is expanding. Many believe multitasking is efficiency, but it is only divided attention. A divided mind creates half results, but a focused mind creates depth. When you are present, even simple actions gain richness. Reading 1 page with full attention is more valuable than flipping through 100 without awareness. Speaking 1 word with presence is more powerful than speaking many without sincerity. The measure of your time is not in quantity, but in quality. Quality is born from presence. Presence is also the foundation of peace. Anxiety belongs to the future. Regret belongs to the past. Peace belongs to the present. When you anchor yourself in the now, you free yourself from the chains of time that pull you forward and backward. This freedom multiplies your energy. You stop wasting time on what was or what might be, and you begin living in what is. Life is always happening in this breath, in this step, in this heartbeat. To ignore the present is to ignore life itself, but to honor it is to discover that every moment, no matter how small, carries infinite depth. This is how you maximize time, not by chasing more, but by fully living in the only moment that ever truly exists, this one. Life becomes heavy not because of time itself, but because of the weight we place upon it. We collect possessions, responsibilities, distractions, and endless desires until our days are cluttered and our minds are overwhelmed. Complexity steals time silently. The more complicated life becomes, the more hours are lost in managing what is unnecessary. But simplicity clears the path. Simplicity is not emptiness, it is clarity. It is the strength to choose less so you can give more of yourself to what matters most. Consider a room filled with too many objects. When you walk through it, you stumble, you hesitate, you move slowly. But when the room is clear, every step is free, and your energy flows without resistance. Your life works the same way. When it is crowded with commitments you do not truly value, possessions you do not truly need, and noise you do not truly want, your time is consumed by the weight of what does not matter. To live simply is to free yourself from this hidden theft of time. Simplicity is also power because it sharpens focus. A candle in a dark room shines brighter than 1,000 scattered sparks. When your attention is spread across too many things, none of them receive your full strength. When you remove the unnecessary and concentrate only on the essential, your impact grows. 1 hour given to what is vital is worth more than 10 wasted on what is trivial. Many people think abundance comes from adding more, but real abundance often comes from removing. Remove the distractions and you gain clarity. Remove the excess and you gain freedom. Remove what is shallow and you uncover depth. Every time you simplify, you win back time that was being drained by the unnecessary. Simplicity gives you back your hours by eliminating what steals them silently. Nature itself teaches this lesson. Strongest tree does not grow tangled in too many branches. It directs its energy upward into the core that allows it to stand tall for centuries. The same is true for human life. Strength does not come from scattering energy in every direction, but from channeling it into the essentials that support growth and meaning. To live simply is not to live without joy. It is to live with intentional joy. It is to choose carefully, to say yes only to what serves your higher purpose, and to let go of the rest. In this choice lies true freedom. Because when life is simple, time is clear. And when time is clear, your days flow with strength, balance, and meaning. Simplicity is not weakness. It is the quiet strength that makes every moment count. Time and energy are bound together. To waste one is to waste the other. Every moment of your life requires energy, mental, emotional, or physical. And yet, people give it away carelessly as if it were infinite. Pour energy into arguments that do not matter, into relationships that drain them, into distractions that bring no return. The result is not just tiredness, but emptiness. When your energy is gone, your time feels wasted. When your energy is protected, your time becomes powerful. Imagine carrying a vessel of clear water through a crowded street. If you let everyone reach in and take a handful, soon nothing is left for you. Energy is like that vessel. Every demand, every distraction, every unnecessary drama is a hand dipping into it. Unless you learn to protect it, you will always feel empty, no matter how much time you have. Protecting your energy means saying no when it is necessary, stepping back when it is wise, and choosing carefully where your presence goes. Not every person deserves your attention. Not every opportunity deserves your effort. Not every battle is worth fighting. The wise know that guarding their energy is guarding their life. To spend hours with people who constantly complain, criticize, or drain your spirit is to hand them your time. To feed habits that weaken your body or cloud your mind is to let time slip away silently. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is respect for the life you have been given. When your energy is directed toward the right things, time multiplies. A clear and rested mind can achieve in 1 hour what a scattered mind cannot achieve in 5. A heart free from unnecessary burdens moves swiftly, while a heavy heart slows every step. Protecting your energy means preserving this clarity so that every action you take carries strength instead of weakness. Nature offers this truth in silence. The sun does not shine everywhere with equal intensity. It rises, it sets, it focuses. The river does not spread into the desert, follows its course, keeping its power. In the same way, you must protect the flow of your own energy. Do not scatter it across everything. Direct it with purpose, and your time becomes meaningful. Guarding your energy requires courage because it often means walking away from noise, from the unnecessary, from the easy temptations that steal both strength and hours. But once you choose it, you discover a new freedom. You no longer feel exhausted by life. Instead, you feel aligned with it. And in that alignment, your time becomes not only longer, but richer. Greatness is often imagined as something sudden, something that arrives in one dramatic moment, like lightning striking the earth. Life does not work this way. Life is built on small, consistent steps. Time rewards patience, persistence, discipline far more than it rewards sudden bursts of effort. Many waste their days chasing shortcuts, searching for instant results, hoping that one great leap will replace years of steady work. But shortcuts rarely lead to true growth. They consume time, and in the end, they leave you standing at the beginning once again. Think of a mountain. No one climbs it in a single jump. It is climbed step by step, slowly, steadily with persistence. Each small step may feel insignificant in the moment, but together they carry you to the summit. The same is true for mastering any skill, building any dream, or creating any change in life. Every daily effort, no matter how small, is an investment in your future. Ignore these small steps and years pass without progress. Honor them, and time itself begins to work with you. Consistency has a quiet power. One drop of water falling again and again will carve through stone. One seed watered daily will grow into a tree that stands for centuries. These changes are not immediate, but they are inevitable. Time magnifies whatever you repeat. If your steps are careless, time multiplies wasted effort. If your steps are disciplined, time multiplies success. This is why consistency is the true secret of using time wisely. The difficulty lies in patience. Human nature craves quick results. You want to see change now, growth now, success now. But time does not bend to impatience. It bends to persistence. The small actions you take each day may not look powerful, but they are laying foundations invisible to the eye. Days later, nothing seems different. Months later, progress begins to appear. Years later, the results are undeniable. And those years would have passed anyway. So the question is, what will you build with them? Do not despise the small beginnings. Reading a few pages each day creates wisdom over years. Moving your body a little each morning builds health over decades. Saving a small amount consistently creates abundance where none existed. These actions seem small. The passage of time transforms them into something powerful. Every great achievement you admire was built this way through steady steps repeated without stopping. Time is not defeated by force, but shaped by consistency. If you honor the small steps, if you repeat them day after day, you will find that the mountain has been climbed, the river has been crossed, and your life has become the very result you once thought was impossible. Time feels abundant until you realize how fragile it truly is. People live as if tomorrow is promised, as if the years will wait patiently, as if life will pause until they are ready. But life does not pause. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Awareness of mortality is not meant to create fear. It is meant to awaken urgency. Reminds you that every hour wasted is gone forever, and every choice matters because you do not know how many choices remain. Imagine holding an hourglass in your hand. Sand flows from the top to the bottom, grain by grain. You cannot stop it. You cannot reverse it. You cannot add more. Each grain is a moment of your life. Some people stare at the hourglass but pretend it is endless. They delay what matters, postpone their dreams. They keep waiting for a perfect time that never arrives. Then suddenly the last grain falls. They realize the waiting has stolen their life. Awareness of mortality teaches you never to wait for perfect conditions, because perfection does not exist, only now exists. When you live with this awareness, your priorities become clear. Small distractions lose their power because you understand how costly they are. Every meaningless argument, every wasted hour, every delay in following your calling is paid with a currency you cannot refill. The wise do not fear death, they respect life. Honor time by filling it with what matters: love, growth, service, creation, presence. To live this way is to walk without regret, knowing that if the final moment came today, you would have truly lived. Mortality also teaches humility. No matter how strong, how wealthy, or how successful, every human being shares the same fate. This truth levels pride and reminds us that time is the greatest equalizer. Difference is not in how long we live, but in how fully we live. One person may breathe for 100 years, yet never taste life, while another may breathe for 30 and leave behind a legacy of meaning. The value is not in the length of life, but in its depth. Awareness of death sharpens the gift of life. It teaches gratitude for the sunrise, for the people beside you, for the chance to try again today. It turns ordinary moments into treasures because you understand they will not last forever. And it transforms procrastination into action because you know that waiting is the most expensive mistake you can make. To remember mortality is not to live in sadness, it is to live in truth. And in that truth, you find the courage to use your time with urgency, clarity, and love. For when the last grain of sand falls, nothing remains but the life you chose to build with the time you were given. Life is not how you want it to be. Life is how it is. Time does not bend, it does not pause, it does not return. Each of us is given the same gift, 24 hours in a day. But what separates the fulfilled from the empty is how those hours are lived. When you accept reality, discipline your desires, find clarity of purpose, remain present, live simply, protect your energy, honor small steps, and remember that your days are finite, then time itself becomes your ally. Do not wait for another day, another chance, another season. The perfect moment you are waiting for will never come, because the perfect moment is already here. Every heartbeat is a reminder that life is moving. Every sunrise is an invitation to begin again. Do not waste the invitation. A river of time is flowing whether you stand still or move forward. You cannot control its speed, but you can decide its direction. So choose today to walk with purpose. Choose to live awake, not asleep. Choose to value every breath, every hour, every step, for when the final grain of sand falls, it will not matter how many days you had, it will matter how deeply you lived them. Make your time your masterpiece.